for those who don't know what A Night to Shine is all about, kind of explain how special. Well, how did it get started, and how special is this night?
I love to tell this story. The way this started 10 years ago, one of our members, who's one of the leaders of Night to Shine, a fellow named Jordan Brown, and he's one of our church leaders. At the time, he just called me. He had heard about this event through a podcast, and a young man, I think his name is Brant Hansen, had attended A Night to Shine in his hometown, and he was telling about the experience. And that so moved Jordan that Jordan said, "We've got to do this at Westark." And at that time, I think it was only the second year that the Tim Tebow Foundation had started this. And so Jordan called me, and at the time he said, "Hey, here's the thing. I want to do this. I'm going to do this somewhere, but I need your signature as the as the minister at the church. But I'll do all the work." And I said, "Well, you had me at do all the work, and I really didn't think anything." Oh, and the other thing he told me was, and he said, "And besides, we probably won't get picked." I said, "Well, even better. I'll sign it if we're not going to get picked. This is this is going nowhere." And then we got the call, and the Tim Tebow Foundation said, "We want to help you host this." And here we are 10 years later. And I can't describe, Daren, the level of change that this has meant for us, and the good the return. You've been a part of it. You understand that. And here's where I'm at 10 years later. This is the River Valley. This is all of us in this region that own this. We just happen to be the ones who provided the parking lot for it.
So this basically is like a prom night where everybody is a king and everybody is a queen.
Exactly. It is specifically for people with special needs, and that definition is rather broad. But this is how it started with the Tim Tebow Foundation. A group came to him, and in his benevolence work, they said, "We want to put on a prom at this church for some people who have special needs. They didn't get to attend their prom. They couldn't get out. They're often overlooked." Um, and he said, "That sounds like a great idea, but let's do it everywhere." And now it's global. And so what we do is we put on a prom. In fact, I told some folks today that this isn't just a prom. This is a super prom. This is hyper prom.
What does this mean for those who get to be there and be a part, not only as a volunteer, and we'll talk more about that in just a second, but those who get to be the king and queens?
You bet. So our kings and queens are folks with special needs, ages 14 and up. And I believe that our oldest king he had his 80th birthday. And for them, it means, uh, I don't know that I can describe what it means. I know that they look forward to it all year. And we've made friends with so many of them. And that's been the greatest blessing. It's just a night to celebrate. It's a night to be happy. And it's a night to forget about any cares or worries or difficulties. And they get honored. They get reminded that they too are made in the image of God, and that we love them, and that God loves them even more. So it's very important to them. They talk about it all year long.
One thing that really makes this a success are the volunteers. How many? It's an incredible amount of volunteers that you need. How do you go about becoming a volunteer?
Well, there's so many different ways to volunteer. We'll have about 300 or more kings or queens here. We've already got that many signed up for this year. And we're going to need at least 300 buddies. And buddies are what we call the partners in celebration. They're here to just hang with the kings and queens, to go where they go, to have somebody there cheering them on. And they get to do everything that the kings and queens get to do. Now, there's other ways to volunteer. You can be on the red carpet. As you well know, there's so many people that come out and make that red carpet special. And we've had organizations and we've had groups that have come and provided the sword bridge, and the others who are providing the security. We've got groups that are providing limousines. So we have a combination of volunteers and sponsors. And all of this is listed out on our website, which is fsnight2shine.org. But there's so many different ways to help out. Even for folks who can't make it on Friday, February 13th, there might be a way that they can sponsor this or they can contribute something to it. But the website will spell all that out. Folks who have done this will later tell me, I'm coming back next year. I've got to be a part of this. I've got to do something. And sometimes they get creative about what they're doing. And that's how we've developed stuff. There's new groups that have joined, and one that I'm thinking of right now, I'm just riffing right now, is the 501st Legion, the Star Wars group. You saw them at the red carpet. A few of them were suggested. They came out, they joined us. Now they want to be here every year. That entertains the kings and queens as they're waiting in line, as they're getting ready. We have the hair and makeup group. They prepare the royalty. We have the guys that do the shoe shine, and they get them all ready and spiffed up. One of the things I love is there's a lot of administrative logistics stuff that goes into this, and some of the folks who've done that, they decided to have some fun with it. So last year, I think this was the first time they did this. They had on purple shirts, and they were called the matchmakers. They were the ones who put the buddies with the kings and queens, and it made an administrative task a lot of fun.
Go back to the prom part of this, the super prom part of this. There is dancing, there is a meal, there's karaoke, it is just a fun-filled night for everybody who is there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I got to say this, because I always salute the people who are a part of this, and KFSM being a part of this has been huge, and I love it. I know you didn't call me on here to brag on you, but I'm going to do it anyway. I I enjoy talking to my friends, the kings and queens, and they come out here and they want to meet you. They really mention you a lot, Daren. They say, I want to meet him. It's I don't know. It's you are the celebrity, and they love it, and they love meeting you. They love meeting Tiffany. They love meeting all of the people here. We had one young lady last year. She wanted to say hello to her grandpa, and we worked that out. We know we can't do that for everyone, but just having you help us tell that story is so meaningful, because that's what I want the River Valley. What I want everybody to know is there is something good going on in this world, and you can be a part of it.
One of these days, Tim Tebow is going to show up to this.
I know, and that was what was always told to us in the early days. And now that this has become global, I don't know how they do it, and I don't know if they've changed their strategy. But I'll just throw this out there. It's like, Tim, if you ever want to show up, come on and show up. But I'm telling you, I mean, hey, we've got Daren, Bob, and Tiffany Lee. So, Tim, come on, we're doing fine.
Chris, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to see you.
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you too.